Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to our Paul, Yahweh, Boashem, Yahushai, Boashem, Akakadash, Kal, Halalam, Boashem, Yahushai, Boashem, Akakadash. That's in ancient Hebrew, saying all praises to Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Yahweh is a correct name for the God of the Bible, who the world ignorantly call Jehovah, God, or Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai, who the world ignorantly call Jesus Christ. The true name for the God of the Bible in Hebrew is Yahweh, and his son's true name in Hebrew is Yahushai. I want to give the honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all our brothers and out there pushing this word in sincerity and in truth, to all that believe in this gospel. Shalom. I'm the brother Zach from Camp James, Jamaica, and this lesson, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to title it yet, but we'll watch this video here from the elder, name slipped me, sorry, from out there in Vegas, and he played, as you can see, the channel handle is GMS Vegas Sit Downs 144K, and I'm entitled UK proposed law for up to 2 years in jail for preaching. Persecution will be imminent, sorry. And I saw like several, notification coming in from other brothers, seeming like they are doing lessons on it. So of course, the brother played this video as well here. Well, not that.
Me, Martin Daubney. Now, the Labour-ran Rushmore Borough Council has sparked outrage by proposing a sweeping injunction that could see Christian street preachers imprisoned for up to 2 years if the injunction is breached, now over claims of causing offence or distress. Now, under the proposed terms, Christians will be banned from praying for individuals, handing out religious leaflets or Bibles by hand, and laying hands on people in prayer, even with their permission. Welcome back to TVN Tonight with me, Martin Daubney. Now, the Labour-ran Rushmore Borough Council has sparked outrage by proposing
So I tried to do some research to see exactly what's taking place. So at first I typed in UK law to ban praying, and then you say illegal, so let's left it. And this is the AI overview. You know the AI normally pull articles from or information from so-called approved sources. It says in the UK, laws related to safe access zones (SAZs) around abortion clinics, murder clinic, do not explicitly ban silent prayer, but they prohibit any act done with the intent or recklessness to influence a person, obstruct access, or cause harassment, alarm, or distress. This definition is broad enough to encompass silent prayer if performed with the intention of influencing or causing distress, which this just vague, right? It says amendment to exempt silent prayer from SAZ restrictions were rejected by both Scottish and English or Welsh legislatures. So them basically still have this out there, right? Well, I never state when it get pushed out there, But you can just basically moving all along your head, right? And a man can basically start pray. So it's there's a say we know the elite's agenda all out of chaos, right? So I was still doing some research to see exactly what's what, and majority of the articles here are from Christian sources, which we want something from we need something from mainstream, right? And it's a AP News. Says Britain has banned protests outside abortion clinics, but silent prayer near abortion clinic will not necessarily commit a criminal offense. Yeah. Until this is Vision Christian Media. It says UK Council moves to ban street preachers, right? And so I did a different Google search now. UK law to ban preaching, right? AI overview. It says in the UK there isn't a blanket ban on preaching, but its practice is regulated by public order and noise noise nuisance laws. It says while individuals can freely express their religious views, they must do so responsibly and avoid causing annoyance or disrupting others. Specific actions like using loud amplification without permission, obstructing public spaces, or engaging in aggressive or offensive behavior could lead to restrictions or even legal action. And then going into some here some other articles which I'm going to pull on specific one. And here's where I believe I saw the video, no or not actually, you know. But I think I don't yesterday see the link there for the Instagram video I'm find too. But here, hold on. This is local government lawyer, 2020 April 2025. It says street preaching injunction application paused in face of challenge. Dated Thursday, April 3rd, 2025. It says Rushmore Borough Council has paused its efforts to pursue an injunction banning street preaching in town centers after being challenged by a Christian legal campaign group. The council issued its application for an injunction, and if I'm mistaken, injunction is basically like a pause, and like a legislation for basically put injunction is just necessarily a pause. Let's get it real quick. Injunction usually like a pause. Yeah. Injunction. It says a judicial order restraining a person from beginning or continuing an action threatening or invading the legal right of another or compelling a person to carry out a certain act. Right, so you can even make them carry out a act. So it's basically like an order. So the injunction is to basically seize upon this. Also, I go on so. Alright, so back to the article. It says the council issued its application for an injunction last month pursuant to Section 22 of the Local Government Act 1972 and Sections 1 and 2 of the Antisocial Behavior Crime and Policing Act 2014. It says the injunction application concerned persons unknown and was intended to restrict the behavior of persons preaching within the town centers of Aldershot and Farnham. We're not gonna read all of this, but we'll see where it's going really. And I saw another one that I brought up on what's going into from BBC here. It says, when does street preaching become antisocial? Says religious groups have received antisocial behavior warning notices for the way they promote their faith to city centre shoppers. Leicester City Council put a new Public Space Protection Order (PSPO) in place from April 2nd to tackle issues including riding e-scooters, drinking, playing loud music, and begging in the city centre. But a number of religious groups have told the BBC they have received warnings for using loudspeakers and setting up street stalls and the banners near the city's clock tower. And you know, see, I have some woman out there push the G judge, right? So something like this now would basically be hit. Them need to remove that. Right now we go out there in the streets as well and prophesy. So we'll see where it's coming down to the wire. all these legislations. I think there's even one right now in what you call it, so Norway or something like that. Being I think I'm teacher, school teacher. Um, I heard this now. School teacher being in think in Norway. CBN.com says Christian teacher found guilty for sharing biblical beliefs. Yeah, so what about things that take place all over the earth, really? So eventually we know Esau Edom won't come down against ultimately the man of the Lord. He want to stop the truth from going out there because his truth are cut him up, exposing him for what he really is. And that's what's going on. Revelation 12 and verse 12 says, Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and he that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. Yeah, so all of these legislations and these moves, ultimately have to just come against, the word of the Most High and the men, pushing the word of the Most High. And yeah, Christianity may fall into it, really, but that's ultimately they call it, what they call it, in like war, them say, oh, casualties of war, this is Revelation 2, verse 10. It says, Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, so called white race, them for them agenda, shall cast some of you into prison, concentration camp, or literally before the judicial system, as the scriptures going to say when we're going to get next, Lord's willing. Says, That he may be tried, and he shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life. And the 10 years is referring to a number of times. So we don't know how long we'll come basically maybe in prison. If we're gonna need prison break or whatever, you know. Like the brother they bring out, I think he bring out the account with Peter and Peter and somebody, what was it, Peter and I don't remember. Yeah, Peter alone did get delivered at the time there. And you have one time as well with Paul and Silas. So the Most High is known to break out his servants out of jail, so to speak. So we don't have to worry about that. And then there was an worry. Most High control everything. So it's just about being faithful in these last days here. This is Matthew 24 and verse 9. It says, Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Yeah, so the time will come when we're going to basically be labeled the worst thing since Hitler. Based on the lies and you hear we say things I will never say, or things get twisted. It says, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So it's all about your enduring, is me pushing this truth until the bitter end. As the Most High give us that strength, right? And I'm not worried about the incarceration and all that shit, right? That comes with it. That comes with the territory. Matthew 10 and verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So we're not gonna basically make ourselves a threat like that, you know. Like you used to have certain laws, right? You don't know. Like for example, during Crown Royal, no social gathering like that, or wear a mask or whatever. We just follow comply, right? But when I comply with no is when you say don't preach this word, in general, or take the chip, can kick rocks with the part there. It says but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And he shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. So we're going to be brought before the judicial, system. We don't know something for that long, all right? When we say on the law based on the Constitution, we're going for the Bible, you know. Oh yeah, we're not hypocrite. No shit. It says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not he that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. Right? And they go on and tell us, well, let's read it. Same thing we see in 24. It says, and the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents, and cause them to be put to death. Right, so whole heap of sellout start take place when things get hard. Oh yeah, the police, go against the state and them all things them you accomplice. Officer I'm done here, sir. Yeah. It's a peace sign in Crown Royal. Family I sell out family. Oh see me run away from Portmore or St. Catherine. It says, and he shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. But when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. Right, and when Yahushua return, all bets are off. So we just want to endure, keeping the faith, right, enduring unto the end, and then, Lord will get delivered. Right, so hope this is the fine thing like out there, giving our praise to our poor how about Shemi Oshai about Shemi Kakadash. Sorry, when we go to I think John 16 and 1, it says, these things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh, that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service. And these things will they do unto you, because they have not known the Father nor me. But these things have I told you, that when the time shall come, ye may remember that I told you of them. And these things I said not unto you at the beginning, because I was with you. So these things are just warning that when it happen, we're not surprised like shit. The common Christian believe that you're coming to this truth, you're going to be roses and daisies. No. Coming to this truth, just like even time of like the apostles and slightly afterwards, we had the Israelites, what them called Christians. The scripture said they were called Christians in Antioch first. Called, they never subscribed themselves like that. But yeah, they were followers of the anointed Yahushai. They were basically being, them and them family were being cast onto like lions in the Colosseum in Rome. So we see the persecution coming, but guess what? The scripture says this as well. Let's get this and so we can close as well. Esau move, but the Mosiah moved. Well, I Mosiah move Esau still, same man nobody. Isaiah 59 verse 19, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. Because what? We are here declaring the name of the Most High, declaring the works of the Most High, that you know who is doing what. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So there's a standard that's going to be risen here, right up to the point of even Daniel 12 and 1. The angels, Michael, Archangel, Yahushai, the armies of heaven going to come to fight on behalf of the elect here. Scripture says birds flying. So will the Lord, defend Jerusalem, which are the so-called Negroes, meant for Americans, response Latinos, but starting with the elect on this side. So again, once we're giving our praise to our Poya Haba, Shemi Shaiba, Shemi Kakadash, the wonders unto our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the full leg. Shalom.